The Awakening. The vast emptiness of space stretched before Captain Maya Patel as she stood on the bridge of humanity's most ambitious project, the HSS Hyperion. The massive vessel, nearly 3 kilometers in length, represented humanity's greatest technological achievement, the mastery of quantum-dimensional manipulation. Unlike conventional warships, the Hyperion didn't just move through space, it bent the very fabric of reality around it. Captain, Lieutenant Raj Kumar's voice cut through her contemplation. Long-range sensors are detecting something massive emerging from hyperspace. His dark eyes narrowed at the holographic display floating before him. Multiple signatures, hundreds of them. Maya straightened her midnight blue uniform, her expression remaining calm despite the gravity of the situation. The Hyperion had been on its maiden voyage, testing the limits of its revolutionary quantum core in the outer reaches of human space. They hadn't expected to encounter anyone this far out. "Show me," she commanded, and the main viewport shifted to display a tactical overlay of the approaching vessels. The computer's identification algorithms worked quickly, matching the signatures to known species. When the results appeared, Maya felt her blood run cold. Crackster War Fleet, Commander David Chen, her first officer, whispered. Nearly 500 vessels. The Cracksters were known throughout the galaxy as merciless conquerors, a species of silicon-based life forms who viewed organic races as inferior beings fit only for extinction. Maya's mind raced through their options. The Hyperion's quantum-dimensional drive was untested in combat conditions. The technology allowed them to manipulate local spacetime in ways that theoretically made them invincible, but theory and practice were very different things. "Their trajectory?" she asked, though she already suspected the answer. "They're on a direct course for Earth," Captain, Lieutenant Kumar confirmed. "At their current speed, they'll reach the Sol system in less than 72 hours. The bridge fell silent. Everyone knew what was at stake. The Cracksters had already conquered 3 civilizations in the past decade, leaving nothing but dead worlds in their wake. Earth's conventional defenses wouldn't stand a chance against a fleet this size. Maya took a deep breath, her decision already made. "Sound battle stations. Dr. Yuki, prepare the quantum core for full activation. Commander Chen, I want all weapon systems ready. We're going to show these aliens exactly what humanity is capable of." Alarms blared throughout the massive ship as crew members rushed to their stations. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, the brilliant physicist who had helped develop the quantum-dimensional drive, spoke up from her station. "Captain, we haven't completed all the safety protocols for combat operations. Using the QD drive at full power could have unpredictable results." "Better unpredictable than dead," Maya responded firmly. "Humanity ends here unless we act. How long until you can bring the core to full power?" 10 minutes, Yuki replied, her fingers dancing across her console. "But Captain, you should know, once we activate it, the power signature will be unmistakable. Every ship in that fleet will know exactly what we are." "Good," Maya said, a slight smile playing at her lips. "It's time the galaxy learned that humanity is done being underestimated. Lieutenant Kumar, open a channel to Earth Command. They need to know what's coming, and what we're about to do." As the crew prepared for battle, Maya watched the approaching Crackster fleet on the tactical display. The massive alien vessels resembled crystalline daggers, their hulls composed of living silicon that could repair itself in battle. Under normal circumstances, even scratching their armor would be nearly impossible. But the Hyperion wasn't a normal ship, and these weren't normal circumstances. The quantum-dimensional drive didn't just allow them to travel through space, it gave them control over the fundamental forces of the universe itself. In theory, they could alter the very laws of physics within a localized area. "Quantum core at 70% and rising," Dr. Yuki announced. "Captain, I'm detecting energy buildups in the Crackster fleet. They're preparing to fire." "Hold position," Maya ordered. "Let them come to us." "Commander Chen, status of the shield harmonics?" "Quantum shields are stable," Chen reported. Ready to synchronize with the QD field on your command. The first Crackster vessels entered weapons range, their crystalline hulls gleaming in the starlight. A moment later, hundreds of energy beams lanced out toward the Hyperion, enough firepower to reduce a planet to slag. Maya allowed herself a small smile. Now, Dr. Yuki. Show them what humanity can do. The quantum core hummed to life, and reality itself seemed to blur around the Hyperion. The incoming weapons fire simply ceased to exist, the energy dissipating into quantum foam as the laws of physics themselves were rewritten within the ship's influence. QD field stable, Yuki reported, excitement clear in her voice. We're ready for Phase 2, Captain. Excellent, Maya nodded. Send the message to the Crackster fleet. Let's see how they respond to humanity's little surprise. Counter-strike. The Crackster fleet's response was immediate and devastating, not to the Hyperion, but to their own forces. As the quantum field expanded, their crystalline ships began to vibrate at frequencies their silicon-based structure couldn't handle. Fracture lines appeared across their hulls, spreading like spider webs across the void of space. Fascinating, Dr. Yuki murmured, studying the sensor readings. The quantum field is affecting their biomechanical systems at a fundamental level. Their living silicon hulls can't adapt to the altered physical constants. Before Maya could respond, a priority transmission cut through their communications. Commander Chen's face paled as he processed the message. Captain, we're receiving distress calls from 3 human colonies. New Madrid, Titan Base, and Nova Sydney are under attack. They planned this, Maya realized, her jaw tightening. This fleet was just a distraction to draw our attention while they struck at our vulnerable colonies. She turned to her tactical officer. Where's the HSS Atlas? The Atlas is completing its quantum core installation at Jupiter Station, Lieutenant Kumar reported. They can be ready for deployment in 6 hours. Maya's mind raced through the possibilities. The Hyperion couldn't be in 3 places at once, even with its revolutionary drive. But perhaps they didn't need to be. Dr. Yuki, is it possible to create a sustained quantum distortion field without our direct presence? The physicist's eyes lit up with understanding. You mean like a quantum mine? Theoretically, yes. We could program the field parameters and leave it as a trap, but it would only last for about 12 hours before the quantum coherence breaks down. That's long enough, Maya decided. Lieutenant Kumar, begin calculating jump coordinates for all 3 colonies. Commander Chen, contact the Atlas. Tell them to meet us at Nova Sydney, that's where we'll make our stand. As the crew carried out her orders, Maya studied the tactical display. The Crackster weren't just attacking random targets, they were striking at humanity's quantum research facilities. Someone had given them intelligence about Earth's most sensitive military secrets. Captain, Commander Chen called out, his voice tense. I'm detecting unusual readings from the quantum core. The containment field is fluctuating. Dr. Yuki rushed to her station, her fingers flying over the controls. This isn't a malfunction, someone's trying to access the core controls from within the ship. We have saboteurs aboard. Security alerts blared through the ship as Maya activated the internal defense systems. Lock down all critical sections. Commander Chen, take a security team and protect the quantum core. No one gets in or out without my direct authorization. The situation was deteriorating rapidly. With potential saboteurs aboard and 3 colonies under attack, Maya had to make a decision that could determine the fate of thousands. She took a deep breath, centering herself as she had done countless times during her years of command training. Dr. Yuki, begin programming the quantum mines. Lieutenant Kumar, plot a course for Nova Sydney, maximum quantum speed. Commander Chen, before you head to engineering, send word to Earth Command. Tell them we need every ship with even partial quantum modifications to rendezvous with us. It's time to show the Cracksters why attacking human colonies is a fatal mistake. The Hyperion's quantum drive engaged, reality bending around them as they prepared to jump. Maya knew they were heading into a trap. The Cracksters wouldn't have revealed their hand without a greater strategy in play. But humanity had survived countless attempts at extinction because they excelled at turning the tables on their enemies. As they emerged from quantum space near Nova Sydney, the scene that greeted them confirmed Maya's worst fears. The colony's orbital defenses were in ruins, and dozens of Crackster ships hung in orbit like crystalline vultures. But something about their formation seemed off. They were positioned as if expecting an attack from a specific vector. Multiple quantum signatures detected. Lieutenant Kumar shouted. They're not just Crackster ships, they're using some kind of quantum technology of their own. Maya's blood ran cold as she realized the truth. The Cracksters hadn't just learned about humanity's quantum research, they'd somehow managed to replicate it. This wasn't just an attack, it was a battle for technological supremacy that would determine the future of both species. Battle stations, she ordered, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. And get me a secure channel to the Atlas. If the Cracksters want to test their quantum tech against ours, we'll give them a demonstration they'll never forget. The hidden truth. The quantum battle above Nova Sydney defied conventional physics. Two human quantum ships, the Hyperion and the newly arrived Atlas, faced off against a fleet of Crackster vessels equipped with stolen quantum technology. Space itself writhed and twisted as opposing quantum fields clashed and merged. Their quantum signatures are wrong, Dr. Yuki announced, frowning at her readings. The frequency patterns don't match any known Crackster technology. It's almost as if an explosion rocked the ship before she could finish. Direct hit to Section 7. Lieutenant Kumar reported. They're somehow predicting our quantum field fluctuations. It's like they've been studying our technology for years. Maya gripped her command chair as another blast shook the Hyperion. Something wasn't adding up. The Cracksters were renowned for their crystalline technology, but quantum manipulation required an understanding of organic particle physics that their silicon-based science had never achieved. Captain, Commander Chen's voice crackled through the comm, we've captured one of the saboteurs in engineering. You need to see this. Maya nodded to her first officer. Take command. I need to get to the bottom of this. She strode off the bridge, her mind racing. As she entered the engineering security center, she stopped short at the sight before her. The captured saboteur was neither human nor Crackster. The creature was humanoid but with iridescent skin that seemed to shift between dimensions. Its eyes held an ancient intelligence that made Maya's spine tingle. I am Arkson, the being spoke in perfect English, and you children are playing with forces you cannot comprehend. Who are you? Maya demanded. What's your connection to the Cracksters? The being's laugh echoed with harmonic overtones. The Cracksters are tools, just as humanity was meant to be. We are the architects, the original masters of quantum science. We seeded this galaxy with life billions of years ago, guiding evolution toward our desired outcomes. Maya's mind reeled at the implications. You gave the Cracksters our quantum technology. We gave humanity the inspiration for quantum science, Arkson corrected. Through dreams, through accidental discoveries. We guided your species toward this moment. But you developed too quickly, became too unpredictable. The Cracksters were meant to be our enforcers, culling species that grew beyond their assigned roles. On the bridge, the battle continued to rage. The Atlas had taken heavy damage, its quantum fields flickering as Crackster ships pressed their advantage. But Maya barely noticed the tactical updates coming through her comm. She was focused entirely on the revelation before her. Why? She asked. Why control species development? Why not allow natural evolution? Because of what comes next, Arkson replied. The quantum realm isn't just about space travel or weapons. It's a gateway to consciousness itself. Once a species fully masters quantum science, they discover the truth about reality, that consciousness shapes the universe at its most fundamental level. Some species aren't ready for that power. A massive explosion rocked the ship. "Captain." Chen's voice came through. "The Atlas's quantum core is critical. They're initiating emergency protocols." Maya watched as the Atlas engaged its final defensive measure, a controlled quantum core breach. The resulting quantum tsunami rippled through space, temporarily disrupting all quantum fields in the area. Both human and Crackster ships lost their quantum capabilities, reverting to conventional physics. But in that moment of quantum silence, Maya saw something extraordinary. The space around Nova Sydney seemed to ripple, revealing massive structures that had been hidden in quantum space, architect installations that had been watching humanity for centuries. "You fear us," Maya realized, looking at Arkson. "Not because we're dangerous, but because we learned too quickly. We're approaching your level of understanding, and you can't control us anymore." The architect's expression shifted, showing concern for the first time. "You don't understand the responsibilities that come with quantum mastery. The power to reshape reality is exactly why it shouldn't be controlled by a single species," Maya interrupted. She hit her calm badge. "Dr. Yuki, are you seeing these installations?" "Yes, Captain," came the reply. The quantum disruption revealed dozens of them. They're generating some kind of quantum suppression field across human space. That's why our research has been hitting artificial barriers. Maya turned back to Arkson. "Your time as guardians of the quantum realm is over. Humanity will forge its own path, and will help other species do the same. The knowledge of reality belongs to everyone, not just the architects." The ship shuddered as power returned, quantum fields re-establishing themselves across the battlefield. But now, with the architect's presence revealed, the true nature of the conflict had changed. This wasn't just a battle for human colonies, it was a fight for the right of all species to develop naturally, to discover the quantum truth about reality on their own terms. Maya returned to the bridge, her resolve hardened by this new understanding. The Cracksters weren't their true enemy, they were just pawns in the architect's game of species manipulation. And if humanity wanted to survive, they would need to convince the Cracksters of this truth before it was too late. Rebellion within. The revelation of the architect's manipulation sent shockwaves through both human and Crackster forces. The battle above Nova Sydney had ground to a stalemate as both sides processed the implications of what they'd discovered. The massive architect installations hung in quantum space like ancient monoliths, their purpose now clear to all who could see them. Maya stood in the Hyperion's quantum lab, studying the holographic display of an architect installation with Dr. Yuki. "Can we communicate with the Crackster fleet? Show them what we've learned?" "Their quantum communications are similar enough to ours," Yuki replied, making adjustments to the quantum transmission array. "The real question is whether they'll listen." Before Maya could respond, Lieutenant Kumar's voice came through the comm. "Captain, we're receiving a transmission from Earth Command. The colonies are in chaos. Several planetary governors are calling for immediate surrender to the Cracksters." Maya's jaw tightened. Fear was spreading faster than the truth. "Put it through to the lab." Admiral Zhang's hologram appeared, his usually stoic face showing signs of strain. "Captain Patel, the Security Council is divided. 3 major colonies are threatening to secede if we don't negotiate a peace treaty with the Cracksters. They believe fighting back will only bring the architect's wrath upon us all. With respect, Admiral, surrendering is exactly what the architects want," Maya argued. "They've been playing both sides, keeping species divided and controlled. If we..." A new signal cut through their transmission. On every quantum-capable display throughout the ship, a new image appeared, a Crackster commander, its crystalline features arranged in what Maya had learned to recognize as an expression of profound disturbance. "I am Supreme Commander Vexkar of the Crackster Defense Force," the alien announced in carefully modulated English. "We have verified your findings regarding the architects. Our quantum specialists have confirmed their manipulation of our species' development. This revelation has caused significant discord within our fleet. Maya exchanged glances with Dr. Yuki. This was unprecedented. Cracksters were known for their rigid hierarchy and unquestioning obedience to authority. Internal discord was almost unheard of. Commander Vexkar, Maya responded, your people and mine have been pawns in a game we didn't know we were playing. But now we have a choice. Some of my battle groups have already chosen. Vexkar's crystalline features shifted in what might have been resignation. They maintain that submission to the Architect's will is the only logical path. They believe we were uplifted for a purpose and should not question our masters. And what do you believe, Commander? There was a long pause before Vexkar responded. I believe that any species which achieves quantum mastery through its own efforts has earned the right to choose its own path. A significant portion of my fleet shares this view. A series of energy signatures flared across the tactical display as dozens of Crackster ships adjusted their positions, creating a clear division in their fleet. Nearly 40% of the vessels moved to align with Vexkar's flagship. Admiral Zhang's hologram flickered as he processed this development. Captain Patel, the Security Council needs to know, can we trust them? Maya studied the tactical display, noting how the rebel Crackster ships had positioned themselves to defend against their former allies. It was a costly tactical decision that left them vulnerable to human forces, a gesture of trust that couldn't be faked. The Architects didn't just control our development, Admiral, Maya explained. They kept us fighting each other to prevent exactly this kind of cooperation. The Crackster's silicon-based quantum tech and our organic-based systems, together they might be able to bypass the Architect's suppression fields. Dr. Yuki's eyes widened as she ran calculations. She's right. The resonance patterns are complementary. If we could synchronize our quantum fields with their crystalline matrices. But before she could finish, space itself seemed to shudder. The Architect installations began pulsing with ancient energy, their quantum signatures growing exponentially. Multiple quantum distortions forming. Lieutenant Kumar's voice was tense. The Architects, they're not just watching anymore. Something's coming through. Maya's decision had to be immediate. The loyal Crackster ships were already moving to attack their rebellious brethren, while the Architect installations charged with ominous purpose. Everything would depend on what she did next. Commander Vexkar, she broadcast on all frequencies, I propose an immediate alliance. Your quantum crystalline technology combined with our organic quantum systems might be our only chance against what's coming. Will you stand with humanity against our true enemy? The Crackster commander's response was immediate, his crystalline voice resonating with conviction. The Architects sought to keep us apart because they feared our combined strength. Let us show them the error of their judgment. As if in response to their defiance, the quantum space around the Architect installations began to tear open, revealing something that had been hidden for millions of years. The true face of their ancient manipulators was about to be revealed, and the future of both humanity and the Cracksters hung in the balance. Maya took her place on the bridge, watching as former enemies moved to stand together against a common threat. All hands, battle stations. Dr. Yuki, begin quantum field synchronization with Commander Vexkar's ships. Whatever the Architects are bringing through those quantum rifts, we'll face it together. The stars themselves seemed to dim as ancient powers stirred to life, and the final battle for species independence was about to begin. The final gambit. The quantum rifts torn open by the Architect installations pulsed with otherworldly energy, casting an eerie glow across the assembled human and Crackster ships. From these dimensional wounds emerged vessels that defied conventional understanding, massive structures that existed simultaneously in multiple quantum states, their very presence distorting the fabric of reality. Multiple Architect vessels detected, Lieutenant Kumar reported, his voice steady despite the unprecedented situation. Their quantum signatures are, they're operating on at least 7-dimensional planes simultaneously. Maya watched as the Architect fleet took formation. Their ships resembled crystalline fractals that stretched into dimensions human eyes weren't meant to perceive. The sight alone caused several crew members to wince, their minds struggling to process what they were seeing. "Commander Vexcar," Maya called through their newly established quantum link, "are your ships ready for synchronized field generation?" The Crackster commander's response came through clearly, his crystalline tones resonating through the quantum frequencies. "Affirmative, Captain Patel. Our crystalline matrices are aligned with your organic quantum systems. Though I must warn you, this level of synchronization has never been attempted between our species." "There's a lot happening today that's never been attempted," Maya replied with grim determination. She turned to Dr. Yuki. "Status of the quantum synchronization." The physicist's fingers danced across her console, making minute adjustments. "The resonance patterns are holding, but barely. The architect's presence is creating quantum interference unlike anything we've ever encountered. It's as if they're manipulating the fundamental constants of the universe itself." A new voice echoed through all their ships, not through communication systems, but directly into their consciousness. "Your resistance is both impressive and futile," the voice of the architect collective resonated. "We have guided the evolution of species for billions of years. We alone understand the responsibilities of quantum consciousness." The architect vessels began to move, their impossible geometries folding through space in ways that made Maya's head spin. Energy weapons unlike anything they'd seen before lanced out, striking both human and Crackster ships. But where these beams hit the synchronized quantum fields, something unexpected happened. "Captain!" Dr. Yuki called out excitedly. "The combined resonance of our organic quantum fields and the Crackster's crystalline matrices, it's creating a new type of quantum state. Their weapons, they can't fully penetrate it." Maya leaned forward in her chair. "Because they never imagined we'd work together. Their entire system of control was based on keeping species divided." She hit her comm, "All ships, press the advantage. Concentrate fire on the nearest architect vessel." The battle that followed defied conventional physics. Human and Crackster ships moved in perfect synchronization, their combined quantum fields creating patterns that even the architects hadn't predicted. Where their fields overlapped, new forms of quantum interaction emerged, ones that existed outside the architect's carefully controlled system. But the ancient beings weren't easily defeated. Their vessels began emitting waves of quantum disruption designed to break down the synchronized fields. Reality itself seemed to buckle under the strain of their power. "Our quantum synchronization is destabilizing," Dr. Yuki reported urgently. "We can't maintain this level of field integration much longer." Maya watched as several ships, both human and Crackster, began to lose their field coherence. The architects were systematically attacking the very foundations of their cooperation, trying to force them back into separation and confusion. That's when she saw it, a pattern in the quantum interference. "Dr. Yuki, the architect's quantum manipulation, it all flows from those installations we discovered. They're not just observation posts, they're control nodes for their entire system of species manipulation." Commander Vexcar's voice crackled through the quantum static. "Captain Patel is correct. Our quantum sensors detect a distinct energy signature linking the installations to their vessels. But the installations are too well defended, we cannot approach them directly." Maya's mind raced as she watched the battle unfold. The architects were powerful, but they were also predictable, still treating humans and Cracksters as separate species to be manipulated and controlled. And in that predictability lay their weakness. "Commander Vexcar, what if we don't need to destroy the installations? What if we could use them instead?" Maya's voice carried the edge of inspiration. "Dr. Yuki, if we inverted our quantum fields at precisely the right moment." The physicist's eyes widened as she understood. "The resonance cascade. Yes, it could work. We could use their own control network against them, but the timing would have to be perfect." "And if we fail?" Vexcar asked. "Then we fail as free species who chose their own path," Maya responded firmly. She opened a channel to all ships. This is Captain Patel. What we're about to attempt has never been done before. We're going to invert our quantum fields and channel the energy through the architect's own network. Every ship needs to precisely coordinate their field inversion. The slightest misalignment could be catastrophic. The next few minutes were a symphony of coordination. Human and Crackster ships moved into position, their quantum fields humming in harmony. The architects, sensing something was wrong, intensified their attack, but it was too late. Now! Maya commanded. Hundreds of quantum fields inverted simultaneously. The energy cascade was spectacular, a wave of quantum restructuring that used the architect's own installations as amplifiers. Their carefully constructed system of control became a conduit for liberation. The effect on the architect vessels was immediate and dramatic. Their multidimensional structures began to collapse, forced into normal spacetime by the combined power of human and Crackster quantum technology. The ancient beings had never considered that their carefully separated children might not only work together but find strength in their differences. As the quantum cascade subsided, the battlefield fell silent. The architect vessels hung motionless, their impossible geometries simplified into forms that barely held together. Their installations, once hidden in quantum space, now orbited visibly around countless worlds, powerless and exposed. All architect vessels have ceased functioning, Lieutenant Kumar reported with barely contained excitement. Their quantum signatures are normalizing. They're being forced to exist in our dimensional plane. The voice of the architect collective spoke one final time, but now it was weak, almost confused. This was not predicted. The quantum realm was ours to shepherd. The quantum realm belongs to all sentient species, Maya responded firmly. Every civilization has the right to discover its mysteries in their own way, at their own pace. Your time as guardians is over. In the aftermath of the battle, human and Crackster ships maintained their positions, their quantum fields still synchronized in a display of unity that would reshape galactic politics forever. The architect's fallen vessels would be studied, their technology understood, but never again would they hold dominion over the development of young species. Captain Maya Patel stood at the Hyperion's observation deck, watching as repair crews from both species worked together to heal the damage from the battle. Commander Vexgar's hologram stood beside her, his crystalline form refracting the starlight. What happens now? The Crackster commander asked. Maya smiled slightly. Now we do what the architects feared most, we learn from each other. We explore the quantum realm together, not as competitors or enemies, but as allies who understand that our differences make us stronger. The stars seemed brighter somehow, freed from the quantum suppression that had hidden so much of the universe's true nature. As Maya looked out at the vastness of space, she knew that this was just the beginning. Humanity and the Cracksters had not only won their freedom but had opened the door to a new age of cooperation and discovery. The quantum realm awaited, and this time, every species would have the chance to explore it on their own terms.